What if I told you that loneliness isn't an obstacle, but one of the most powerful tools you have to transform your life? Living alone doesn't mark the end of something, it's the beginning of a stage filled with possibilities. It's the perfect time to rediscover who you are, heal past wounds, and build a present filled with peace, purpose, and energy. My name is Gabriel, and in this video, we'll dive into the wisdom of the Stoics and other great thinkers to show you how solitude, when embraced with intention, can lead to emotional freedom, creativity, and self-discovery. I won't talk about abstract ideas or generic advice. What you're about to hear are reflections and practical steps that can help you turn this stage into one of the most fulfilling and meaningful times of your life. If you've ever wondered how to make the most of this time with yourself, stay with me. What you're about to discover may not only change the way you see solitude, but also the way you choose to live the rest of your days. Let's begin. Number 1, build a deep relationship with yourself. Living alone is not a punishment, it's an act of self-love. For much of your life, you've probably put others first: your children, your partner, your family, even your job. But now, with the space that solitude offers, you have the chance to nurture something you may have neglected for years: your relationship with yourself. This is the time to look inward and ask yourself honestly what you need to be happy, to feel whole, and to reconnect with who you truly are. I know that for many of you, this stage comes with pain. Maybe your children are far away and not as present as you had hoped. Maybe you've lost someone you loved deeply, or perhaps you're disappointed by relationships that didn't turn out the way you dreamed. These experiences hurt, and they often leave us feeling empty. But here's the key: living alone doesn't mean you've been abandoned. It means you have an invaluable opportunity to rebuild yourself with self-love and acceptance. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, said, "The first step toward peace is to stop blaming others for our troubles." This doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It means recognizing that the peace you seek isn't found in what others do or don't do, but in how you choose to treat yourself. In this sense, solitude becomes a refuge, a space to heal, to forgive yourself for past mistakes, and to free yourself from the burden of trying to please everyone else. Let me ask you this: how much time have you spent waiting for others to give you the love, care, or attention you deserve? How many times have you felt like you give everything, yet receive little in return? Living alone is an invitation to break that cycle. It's an opportunity to stop waiting for love to come from the outside and start cultivating it from within, because in the end, no one can fulfill you the way you can. Think about this. How would your life change if you treated yourself with the same compassion and dedication that you've given to others for years? What would happen if, every day, you did something small but meaningful just for yourself? Something as simple as cooking your favorite meal, reading that book you've been putting off, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea, reminding yourself that this moment is yours alone. These acts aren't selfish. They're essential. Many times, we've avoided being alone because we fear facing ourselves. We fear the silence because in it, the difficult questions arise, the emotions we've suppressed. But let me tell you something. It is precisely in that silence where your healing begins. Carl Jung said that facing our shadow, those aspects of ourselves we've avoided, is the path to wholeness. And in solitude, free from distractions, you have the space to make peace with your wounds, your losses, and your deepest desires. I know some days will be harder than others. There will be moments when loneliness feels heavy. But there will also be moments when you look in the mirror and recognize someone strong, someone who has been through so much but is still here, willing to care for themselves and rebuild. Because self-love is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Living alone doesn't mean you've been left behind. It means you've chosen yourself. It means you're willing to give yourself the time and space to heal, to discover what you truly want, and to live on your own terms. And when you do that, something incredible happens. Solitude stops being the enemy and becomes your ally. Don't worry if you don't know how to start. Loving others has always been easier than loving yourself. But this is the perfect time to learn. Start with small gestures, with kind words to yourself, with choices that put you first. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that when you build a deep relationship with yourself, everything else starts to fall into place. So today, the question is not why you're alone. The real question is, what will you do with this time that is yours alone? The answer, I promise you, could be the beginning of something extraordinary. Number 2, find God in the silence. A few years ago, I had an experience that completely changed the way I understood solitude. I was going through a difficult time, a period of personal loss and questions that seemed to have no answers. There were days when the silence of my home felt so heavy that I looked for any excuse to go out, just to avoid feeling so alone. But one day, something changed. One ordinary afternoon, as I sat by a window watching the sun slowly set, I found myself in silence. Not because I wanted to, but because I no longer had the energy to keep distracting myself. And in that moment, in the midst of absolute stillness, I felt something I had never felt before. It wasn't words or an obvious sign, it was a deep sense of peace, as if someone were gently whispering, "I'm here. You were never truly alone." That moment was the beginning of a new path for me. I discovered that in solitude, I could not only find myself, but also a deeper connection with the divine, with God, with something greater than myself. In our daily lives, we are so overwhelmed by noise, responsibilities, and expectations that we forget silence is the space where we can hear the sacred. Many times in this stage of life, the pain of loss or the distance from our loved ones can make us feel abandoned. Maybe you feel like your children aren't as present as you had hoped, or that the emptiness left by a loved one is impossible to fill. But let me tell you this, solitude is not a punishment, it's a bridge. It's the place where you can reconnect with God, with whatever you believe in, and where you can find comfort and purpose. The Stoics, though they didn't speak of God in religious terms, understood the concept of connection to something greater. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflected on how the order of the universe, the force that guides everything, also sustains us. He wrote, "Whatever happens, happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be true." In other words, even in moments of deep loneliness, there is something watching over us, guiding us, if we are willing to listen. That day by the window, I realized I didn't have to fill my solitude with noise or distractions. Instead, I could use it as a space to talk to God, to express what I felt, and more importantly, to listen. That's when I discovered prayer not as an obligation, but as a conversation. A way of saying, "Here I am, with all my wounds and questions." And in response, I found peace. Not because everything changed instantly, but because I understood I wasn't facing it alone. If you're living alone, I want to invite you to make your home a sacred space. You don't need elaborate rituals or ceremonies, just a moment of stillness. Sit in silence, maybe with a candle lit, or simply listening to the sound of the wind. Talk to God as you would talk to a friend, with honesty, without filters, or just listen. Sometimes, the answers don't come in words, but in a quiet sense of calm that wraps around you, reminding you that everything will be okay. It's also important to remember that connection to the divine isn't limited to religion. Some find it in nature, in art, in the act of creating. Others find it in everyday moments, watching a sunset, feeling the warmth of the sun on their skin. The important thing is to give yourself permission to seek, to open your heart to the silence, because it is there that the divine can speak to you. For me, that first moment of connection became a habit. Now every morning I take a few minutes to sit in silence, breathe and give thanks. I'm grateful for what I have, even if it's small, and I'm also grateful for what I don't understand, because I trust it's part of a greater plan. That habit has not only given me strength, but also a sense of purpose. If today you feel the weight of loneliness, I want to remind you that you are not truly alone. In the silence, in the moments when the world seems to pause, there is a presence that accompanies you, listens to you, and wants to give you peace. All you have to do is open yourself to it. Solitude can be a place of encounter with the divine, an opportunity to strengthen your spirit, and remember that, even in the hardest moments, there is something greater than you that is always with you. That connection can bring new meaning to this stage of your life, transforming solitude into a space filled with peace and purpose. Number 3, take back full control of your life. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and every decision you make is guided by what you truly want. There are no external expectations dictating your choices, no voices questioning you. It's just you, with the freedom to create a day that reflects what you value, what brings you peace, and what makes you feel alive. Living alone at this stage in life is exactly that, an opportunity to reclaim full control of your life and shape it from the heart. For years, you may have felt like you were living for others. Maybe it was for your children, your partner, your family, or even the demands of work. Maybe, without realizing it, your time and decisions were shaped more by other people's needs than your own. But now, with solitude as your ally, you can pause, breathe, and remember that your life is still yours. The Stoics often encouraged us to reflect on what we truly have control over. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the ability to recognize what is within our power. And what is within your power right here and now is how you choose to live this moment." Living alone gives you the gift of autonomy, the ability to make decisions without interference, to prioritize yourself without guilt. It's an act of self-love, a sign of respect for all you've been through, and a declaration of faith in all you can still create. I want you to see your home as a sanctuary, a space where every corner reflects your choices. It doesn't matter if it's big or small, full of things or minimalistic. What matters is that every detail reflects you. You decide how to fill it, who to invite in, and when to simply enjoy the silence. This freedom is not a luxury, it's your right. And every small choice you make in this space is a step toward the life you deserve. For a long time, you may have felt obligated to please others, to meet expectations that weren't your own. That's normal, and there's nothing wrong with having done so. But now, life is inviting you to pause and ask yourself, what do I truly want? How do I want to live my days? Not for others, not to fulfill obligations, but for your well-being, your happiness. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflected on how the order of the universe calls us to act with reason and personal will. He wrote, "Your life is shaped by your thoughts." And now, at this stage, you have the power to direct those thoughts toward creating an authentic life. Because when you start making choices for yourself, even in the smallest ways, you begin reclaiming something that time or circumstances may have taken from you, your sovereignty. Think of all the possibilities ahead of you. Maybe you've always wanted to learn something new, playing an instrument, painting, writing your memoirs. Maybe you long to care for your body by taking walks outside or practicing gentle exercises that renew your energy. Or perhaps you simply want to enjoy your days at a pace that allows you to savor every moment. Whatever it is, The beauty of living alone is that every choice is yours. Living alone is not an act of isolation. It's a declaration of independence. It's saying, I am here and my life has value. My decisions matter. Every time you choose how to spend your time, what to eat, what to do, or what not to do, you are telling yourself that you deserve to live life on your terms. And that is one of the most powerful ways to take back control. No matter what your past has taught you, if at any point you felt like you weren't capable of making decisions for yourself, or if you became used to others deciding for you, now is the time to remember your strength. Because within you is a wisdom that life has cultivated over the years, and that wisdom will guide you toward the life you desire. Close your eyes for a moment and visualize what your life would look like if every decision you made was an act of self-love. If every choice was based on what you truly need, on what you truly want. That life is possible, and it begins with each small step you take toward independence. When you take back control of your life, you're not just making decisions, you're creating a path filled with authenticity, peace, and purpose. And that path, I promise you, is one of the most rewarding journeys you can take. If you're enjoying this video so far and feel like you're discovering new ways to embrace solitude as an opportunity to grow, heal, and reconnect with yourself, I invite you to subscribe and hit the like button. That helps me continue creating content that inspires and brings value to those who want to navigate this stage of life with purpose and inner peace. Tell me, where in the world are you watching this from? I'd love to know where you're reflecting with me from today. Stay with me until the end, because lesson number 7 might completely change the way you see this stage of life. It will offer you a new perspective on finding vitality and purpose. And if you're committed to this transformation, comment the phrase, I choose my path. Let it serve as a powerful reminder that this stage of your life is yours to design exactly as you've always dreamed. Let's continue. Number 4, open the door to gratitude. Living alone, far from being a challenge, can become an opportunity to rediscover gratitude for what you have and for who you are. Too often, life moves so fast that we get caught up in what's missing, what didn't go as planned, or what we've lost. But solitude has a transformative power. It allows you to pause, observe, and truly appreciate what matters. The Stoics spoke of gratitude as an essential habit for a peaceful life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't forget to be grateful for the troubles you don't have." A powerful thought, one that invites us to recognize the hidden blessings in our lives, even on difficult days. And when you live alone, without constant distractions or outside influences, you have the chance to make gratitude a daily practice, a moment to connect with the richness that often goes unnoticed. Let me share the story of Eleanor, one of the people who follow this channel. Eleanor is 72 and has lived alone since she lost her husband 5 years ago. For a long time, her home felt empty, filled with memories that brought more sadness than joy. She wrote to me saying she felt trapped in the past, longing for what was and mourning what was no longer there. But something changed when she watched a video like this one. One day, Eleanor picked up a notebook and started writing down 3 things she was grateful for each morning. At first, she found it difficult. She felt like there wasn't much to appreciate. But over time, those small lists began to shift her perspective. Today, I woke up without pain. I heard a bird singing outside my window. My daughter called to check on me. Simple things, yet things she had once overlooked. Eleanor began to realize that her life wasn't as empty as she had thought. The home that once felt like a place of absence became a refuge filled with peace and meaning. A few months later, she wrote to me again to tell me how this simple habit had brought joy back into her life. And she shared something with me that I now want to share with you. When I learned to be grateful, I stopped feeling alone. Gratitude is that powerful. It opens our eyes to what's right in front of us and helps lighten the weight of what's no longer there. I invite you to imagine, just for a moment, how your life might feel if each day you found something, no matter how small, to be thankful for. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the smell of coffee in the morning, or simply having a space that you can call your own. When we make gratitude a habit, our perception changes. Life stops feeling like a list of things we lack and becomes a collection of blessings. And the best part? You don't need anything special to start. You only need to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what can I be grateful for today? Living alone gives you the time and space to practice gratitude with intention. You can do it in the morning when you wake up, or at night before you go to sleep. You can write it down, say it out loud, or simply hold it in your heart. What matters is allowing that sense of appreciation to fill you, because when it does, it transforms the way you see the world. Gratitude doesn't erase problems or losses, but it takes away their power to overshadow the good that is still with you. As Seneca said, a grateful person carries their wealth within them. And that wealth, the kind that comes from appreciating the simple things, is one of the greatest sources of peace you can cultivate. Today, I encourage you to try it. Take a few minutes to think of 3 things you're grateful for. Write them down, say them out loud, feel them within you. Like Eleanor, you may find it difficult at first. But in time, you'll see that gratitude not only changes what you see, it changes how you feel. Living alone is not about what's missing, it's an opportunity to reconnect with what's essential. And when you open the door to gratitude, you realize that even on the grayest days, there is light, there is beauty, and there are reasons to keep moving forward. That light is always there, waiting for you to notice it, waiting for you to say, thank you. Number 5, turn your home into a sanctuary of energy and renewal. Living alone gives you a unique advantage, the freedom to transform your home into a space that doesn't just shelter you, but also nourishes and inspires you. Your home is not just a place where you spend time, it's a reflection of your inner state and a powerful tool for shaping how you feel and how you approach each day. The ancient Stoics understood the importance of environment. Seneca spoke about how physical space could influence the mind's tranquility, saying, "The soul needs to retreat to a quiet place to regain its balance." At this stage in your life, your home has the potential to become that place. It doesn't have to be perfect or filled with luxuries, but it should be a space where you find peace and energy. Imagine waking up every morning in a place that makes you feel light, inspired, and at ease. A space that welcomes you with warmth and invites you to reflect, rest, or create. The key is to design it with intention, to align it with your values, your tastes, and your needs. Start by looking around. What in your home drains your energy instead of giving you more? Maybe it's clutter, unused objects that take up space, or even colors and decorations that no longer reflect who you are. Living alone gives you the opportunity to make decisions without outside interference, to clear out what no longer serves you, reorganize things your way, and create a space that feels right for you. Minimalists embrace a principle that fits perfectly with this idea. Keep only what you love or truly use. Getting rid of the unnecessary doesn't just free up physical space, it also clears mental space. It gives you a sense of clarity that transforms how you experience each day. Now imagine filling that space with elements that inspire you. Maybe it's plants that purify the air and connect you with nature, photographs or mementos that bring you joy, or a cozy corner where you can read, meditate, or simply sit and enjoy the silence. Every object, every detail should remind you that this place is yours, a true refuge of positive energy. In Eastern traditions like feng shui, the arrangement of objects and the flow of energy in a space are believed to influence well-being. But even without going into complexities, the essential idea is simple. An organized, harmonious space, designed with intention, has a direct impact on how you feel. When you surround yourself with things that bring you joy, calm, and inspiration, it becomes easier to face each day with strength and purpose. But this isn't just about the physical space. Your home can also be a place for rituals that help you connect with yourself. Maybe it's lighting a candle in the morning while setting an intention for the day, preparing a meal slowly and mindfully, or ending the night with a few moments of stillness and gratitude. These small moments transform your home into a sanctuary, a space that doesn't just house you, but restores you. Think of the homes of the ancient philosophers. Though simple, every corner was designed to serve a purpose: reflection, study, rest. They understood that a well-cared-for environment didn't just affect the body, but also the mind and spirit. You can do the same. Ask yourself, what can I do today to make my home a space that inspires and energizes me? Maybe it's something as small as clearing off a table, changing a decoration, or creating a special corner for something you love. The important thing is that when you step inside, you feel that this space belongs entirely to you and that it's designed to take care of you. Remember, your home is not just a place where you pass the time. It's the stage for your life, a refuge that can nourish you and prepare you for whatever comes next. And when you turn it into a sanctuary of energy and renewal, you're not just changing your surroundings, you're cultivating a mindset that allows you to live with greater purpose and serenity. Number 6, protect your emotional and physical energy. Living alone gives you an incredible advantage, the opportunity to become the guardian of your own energy, both emotional and physical. At this stage of life, when the body may feel slower and the mind more vulnerable to fatigue, protecting your overall well-being isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Imagine your energy as a glass of water. Every day, external demands, worries, and stress cause small drops to spill out. When you're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy for that glass to empty without you even realizing it. But living alone gives you control over what enters and leaves your emotional space, allowing you to preserve that precious water for what truly matters: your peace, your health, and your happiness. The Stoics understood that protecting inner peace was essential for a fulfilling life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Your tranquility depends on the thoughts you allow into your mind." Living alone is an invitation to guard your thoughts and emotions, setting clear boundaries with anything that drains your energy. This includes not only people, but also the news, unnecessary worries, and habits that exhaust you. Start by observing your daily routine. What habits energize you and which ones drain you? Maybe it's excessive screen time, conversations that always lead to conflict, or even a lack of physical movement. Now that you have full control over your time, you can create a routine that nourishes both your body and mind. Make time to strengthen your physical health. You don't need intense workouts, just daily movement to keep your body active. It could be a gentle walk, some morning stretches, or simple exercises to maintain strength. These small acts are more than just exercise. They are reminders that your body deserves care. Remember, a body in motion stays youthful and full of life. But it's not just about the body. Your mind is just as important. Mental peace is the foundation that supports everything else. The Stoics practiced daily reflection to maintain clarity and focus. Seneca advised reviewing each day, asking, "What did I do well? What could I improve? What lessons did I learn? This simple yet powerful habit helps release accumulated worries and start each day with intention. Additionally, meditation or simply sitting in silence for a few minutes can be transformative. You don't need complex techniques. Just close your eyes, take deep breaths, and let your thoughts settle. In these moments, you give yourself space to reconnect with yourself, shutting out the noise of the world. Protecting your emotional energy also means learning to say no without guilt. Living alone allows you to set healthy boundaries, consciously choosing where you invest your time and attention. This isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Every time you decide not to engage in situations that drain you, you are building a shield that protects your peace and well-being. Think of your home and your mind as a garden. What you allow in determines what will grow. If you fill your space with calmness, gratitude, and activities that nourish you, you'll cultivate an environment where serenity flourishes. On the other hand, if you let stress and negativity take over, that garden will start to wither. And don't forget, protecting your energy also means treating yourself with compassion. Some days you won't feel at your best, and that's okay. Instead of criticizing yourself for what you can't do, celebrate what you can do, no matter how small. The Stoics taught the importance of accepting the nature of things, and that includes accepting that we are human, imperfect, and ever-changing. Living alone doesn't mean being isolated. It means being present with yourself. And when you become the guardian of your emotional and physical energy, you make one of the most powerful choices of your life: to prioritize yourself, to take care of yourself, and to live with intention. This is your time to create a life filled with calm, strength, and vitality, because you deserve it. And no one but you can decide how to fill that glass of energy each day. Number 7. Turn solitude into creativity. Living alone isn't the end of something, it's the beginning of a universe full of possibilities. It's the perfect time to look inward and realize that even at this stage of life, your imagination remains boundless, and your ability to create is limitless. Creativity knows no age, no barriers, no restrictions. It's always there, waiting for you to open the door and turn your solitude into a source of purpose and joy. Nietzsche once said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star." That chaos may be a mixture of memories, unfulfilled desires, and dreams you once thought had faded. But here's the truth. Everything you've lived, the good and the difficult, is the perfect material for creating something new, something that only you can bring into the world. Imagine your solitude as a blank canvas. Each day is a brushstroke, a moment to experiment, explore, and build something unique. Maybe you've always wanted to write your memoirs, to tell your story so that others can learn from it. Maybe you've dreamed of painting, even if you've never picked up a brush, or learning to play an instrument that connects you with your deepest emotions. This is your moment. No judgments, no outside expectations, just the freedom to express yourself however you choose. Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the horrors of concentration camps, wrote that purpose is what keeps us alive, and that we can find it even in our most solitary moments. Life never ceases to have meaning, he wrote. And now, in this time with yourself, you have the opportunity to seek out and create that meaning. Think about the word create. It's not just about art. It's about bringing something into existence that wasn't there before. A garden, a new recipe, a song, or even a morning routine that makes you smile as you start the day. Creation is a profoundly human act, and when you do it, you're affirming that life is still rich, full of possibilities, and that, no matter your age, you still have something valuable to give. Creativity also has the power to heal. When you allow yourself to pour your emotions into something tangible, whether it's writing, drawing, or even a simple craft, you're giving yourself permission to process what you feel. Every brushstroke, every word, every small act of creation is a step toward emotional freedom, toward reconnecting with yourself. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture something you've always wanted to do but never dared to. Maybe because you never had the time, or because you thought it wasn't for you. Now imagine there's no one watching, no pressure, no deadlines, just you and the chance to try. That is the magic of living alone. You don't need permission. You just need to take the first step. Seneca once said that the most fulfilling life is not the longest, but the one richest in purpose. And when you choose to create, you fill your days with meaning, building something that transcends solitude and connects you to the best version of yourself. It doesn't matter whether what you create is big or small. What matters is that you allow yourself to do it, trusting that the spark within you is still burning, ready to light up your life and the lives of those around you. So, what will you create today? Maybe it's an idea you've always had, a project you've postponed, or simply a new way to enjoy your time. The important thing is to remember that your creativity isn't limited by age, it's expanded by experience. Every year you've lived has given you another tool to shape something extraordinary. Don't buy into the idea that aging limits you, because limits only exist where you choose to place them. Instead, embrace the truth that your imagination has no end, that your ability to build, explore, and create is as alive as ever. Solitude is not a wall, it's a bridge to what you can become. This is your moment. Pick up that brush, that blank page, that instrument, that idea that has been waiting for years. Turn your time alone into a work of art, a unique expression of who you are. Because when you create, you're not just bringing something new into the world, you're reminding yourself that you still have so much to live, to imagine, and to share. Solitude is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a stage filled with possibilities, self-discovery, and creation. It's a space where you can find peace, reconnect with yourself, and build a life that aligns with your deepest values. In this time with yourself, you have the opportunity to choose how you want to live, to fill your days with purpose, and to remember that there is still so much to explore, learn, and enjoy. My name is Gabriel, and if this is your first time on the channel, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upcoming topics we'll be sharing. And if you've made it this far, I want to acknowledge you, because it shows that you're committed to your personal growth and to making this stage of your life something truly extraordinary. To see who is embracing solitude as an opportunity, comment the phrase, "I enjoy my own company." Also, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you and connect with those on this journey of transformation and wisdom. Before you go, share this video with someone who needs it. There may be someone in your life searching for this perspective today, and your actions could make a real difference. Here's more content that will inspire you to continue building a life full of purpose and serenity. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.